Hey everybody. Thank you guys that have been kind of waiting since you saw that I was going live or whatever. My name is Aya Belene. I'm a feminine mystic. I'm not here to take any of this seriously, but we are all on this journey together in our own unique individual way. Yet there are some of us that can relate more to one another um, than maybe some others, and that's okay as well. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we're all in everyday contact with each other, but it's just nice to know and feel and sense and see that there's somebody that like feels the way you do, can relate to you, um, but not necessarily interfere directly in your processing. Um, it's very interesting to be an evolving being. We go through periods of hermiting, and either you are alone by choice or you feel like you're lonely. Either way, both are very useful and powerful in strengthening your resolve and understanding that you really are all you really need because you are God. Like you are a self sustaining, all powerful, all knowing being. And, sometimes, most of the time, people in the world who are extremely codependent um, can take offense to that and feel like um, trying to trigger you by triggering some abandonment wounds or whatever in you. What's up? I love all those, so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, so people will see you strong in your resolve and your self um um sustainableness, and they'll take it personal, and then they'll try to compete with that by withdrawing their attention, their love, or and it can be like kind of annoying to watch people go through their internal process, like being an evolved being, a highly intelligent and evolved being, and a being that is emotionally mature, and then being out in the world in any kind of way, whether that be you're doing your passion, you just have a job to pay the bills, or you're going to the corner store to get a Sprite. You know, if you are detached from this world and the outcomes in this world, and the people who are have their focus in this world, then you're just observing everything. You're observing everyone, and people don't know how to um, get what they need or want from someone who is so detached, and so they're having these internal fits of rage. Um, and it could be a bit of narcissistic rage too, but it happens so fast. Like the more mature you get, the more you don't need anyone's validation or approval, the more aggressive people tend to react to you because they really feel a really strong need for your energy. They don't know why, and they don't like it, and they don't want to have to surrender to the fact that they have to respect you. Like you're kind, you're sweet, you're balanced, and you're the type of person that people would usually bully. But if you have but if you have matured um in strength and resolve and self-love, then people can't bully you anymore. So I don't know if a lot of you are experiencing that, but I assume that you are. or that at least you have. And at least maybe you're titrating back and forth as you alchemize your energy. You're experiencing those times where you do feel confident in yourself and you do feel empowered and you do feel your strength. And then you feel that tug for of people to and they use emotional blackmailing or guilt, or they'll trigger your abandonment, and then you give in a little bit, and then you have to go back and relearn these lessons, that it's okay for you to stand in your power at all times, even if other people are straight trick zipping. You can watch people just absolutely. You'll be like, is this your choice? Because you know what's going to happen, right? If you it's like chess. If you make your move, I make mine. And I'm actually the strong one here. And you're actually going to feel worse than I do. But okay, right? And then the thing is about alchemizing your energies and balancing your energies and stuff. You don't want to do it to people. It's kind of like when you're as a woman. I'm not saying that men don't go through this too, child. Don't come for me, internet red pill peeps. We're friends. We all have a point at some point of another, but I don't date women, so I'm talking about men. Okay, got it. We're clear. We're probably not, but anyway, when you're dating a guy and he's been like not listening and not um giving you what you need, and you're at your last straw, but and you know that he's going, and you've already like kind of like made up your mind that you're done. It's like the next time, whatever it is, I'm out, and you know he's going to suffer, and you don't want him to because you love him. And so you try as much as you can to not cause both of y'all pain, right? Until you can't anymore. And then you watch the poor guy like go through, I guess, his grieving process. And it's kind of like watching people out in the world do that, but you might not even really be all that close to people. And what I'm gathering too is that it seems like your past jumps into them, like your past demons. You're like the last warrior energies of people that remind you of people in the past. Those energies will jump into people's bodies, kind of like agents or whatever. And the closer you get to awakening, the closer you get to your higher self, the closer you are, the more intense and aggressive and kind of scary it is. And so a lot of people may be triggered right now and feeling a lot of fear, and getting really close to those mother wounds, you know, that fear of death and abandonment, that fear that my needs aren't going to be met. God, you're going to have to show me something. I'm about to lose my job, my mind, my friends, my family, like everything that in this world would make you feel an attachment, to where you don't they're asking you, don't choose yourself, choose us. you know like, you need this money. Don't choose don't choose you. Don't choose your path. Choose us, or else we're going to take everything away from you, and but we're your friends though. And this is kind of like, no, right? And that just kind of like Neo in the Matrix, and you say that final, you get it, and you start seeing those numbers, everything kind of falls away, and then you go into another level of consciousness, of balance, of certainty. And I know you guys have been going through um, different levels of this in different ways over time. It's not just a one-time affair. It oftentimes it's like many cycles of this. But what I see now is that it's intensifying, and you're going to have to find a way, even if you feel like there is no way. It's like there is no escape from yourself. There is no escape from the transformation. Um, Actually spending a lot of time in the light, spending a lot of time focusing on God, spending a lot of time in positivity, spending a lot of time in joy might even trigger more fear, you know. It might even trigger, but that's what you're being asked to do, is to go into your light and focus on the light even more. Be brave. You're being asked to be brave. Be brave and go for it. Be brave and sit in it. Be brave and face it. Be brave because all of this is an illusion and none of this can harm you. And no one can take anything away from you. No one can take who you are away from you. They never have been able to. And that's what you'll see during this alchemical process. All right. That honestly, you've been the one that's been tripping. Like it's you like, oh, it's me. It's been me this whole time. This has all been in my head. All right. I'm going to pull some cards to see what come out. Now, what's also been on my mind a lot is carrying stones that represent the light and the dark on me. And I'm not even a crystal carrier girl. I'm not. But it's been really important to the divine to get this message across, to combine the crystal clear light and the extreme darkness and put them together at the same time. Okay. And even focusing on this energy. Y'all, I've been even finding black and white feathers. Like when spirit wants to get a message through to me, I see it everywhere. I hear it. I can't get away from it. Okay. All right. So let's see what comes out. They want me to talk to you guys about finding where you're at in the middle of the spectrum of light in your alchemical process. I don't know exactly what that means, but we're going to find out. So they're telling me to split it up between the light and the dark. Okay. What they're also showing me is that there's some mental illness that could possibly happen if you try to only just be light, meaning that you have to be able to win and roam in your life. It's like if you're around people that are slinging dirt and slinging mud or whatever, and you are you have not been focusing on the light enough to really be in a frequency for real. This is what's happening. Some people aren't focusing and aren't disciplined enough in isolating their focus on the light. So you're having mixed manifestations and you still try to act as though you're all the way in the light and when you're not. And it's going to cause you to get mollywopped. You're going to lose some battles here. So you're going to have to make some. I was saying that I have to turn off my notifications. All right. So either you're going to face yourself completely, get all the way into the light, or you're going to be okay. Learn to accept that spectrum of light that isn't completely what you want. It's like accepting where you're at in your process and learning the lessons for real, and so that you can get on with it. All right. All right. So let's see. All right. Let's see here. Asking more questions about why you make the decisions that you make, why you even choose the thoughts that you're choosing. Why are things still lingering that are still lingering? And all of this is to alchemize your, this is all about you alchemizing your energy. It's not to embarrass you or make you feel like you're not a higher spiritual being, or like you're not there. Because I know in order to manifest, you have to say, it's already there. We're already there. But not if you're not focusing, not if you're not committed. It's a commitment issue. All right, let's see. I'm using my avatar in the city deck. So we're seeing here, be authentic and swimming through the galaxy, coming up reverse. Be authentic is a very interesting card to me. It's because this is you and them. This is you feeling like you need to get away from the world, and you spend so much time away from the world. They don't know who you are, what you are. They have become afraid of you because of all the stories. So there could be people around you that are making things up, ganging up on you based off of falsities, turning you into some type of monster. And maybe this has happened in the past. And maybe this is a feeling inside of you, a trigger inside of you that is a fear, that causes you when it gets triggered for you to not flow, to not be in flow. All right, let's see what else comes up. A fear of being haunted, chased down, not liked, not invited, not enjoyed for who you really are. It's like there's a fear of not being. See, what comes up next is main character energy. So you're supposed to be in main character energy and flowing into your main character energy to where you're standing out, you're popping out, you're showing up, you're doing you, you're feeling good. It's time. Yet, you know, you still would like to stay hidden in that castle up on a hill and not really, it's kind of like, well, I'll be this in the house. Y'all, when it's ready and everybody has stopped tripping, I will, come out, you know. Um, what's underneath and be authentic is your throat chakra. So your throat chakra is about self-expression. So, all right, there's an ending here. There's an alchemization that's happening for you. Like it's kind of like one last little testing ground, one last little war that you have to fight. But it's internal though. It seems like it's on the outside. It seems like it has to do with other people. But I'm telling you that if you're brave enough to face yourself and really focus on the light, focus on the divine, and not be delusional in the sense that you think that if you focus on a little bit of negativity here, a little bit of your addiction there, that's not going to affect some outcomes and some, you know, make some issues for you. It absolutely is. Like you're being called out here. The light, you focus so much on the light that it's just shedding light on your own internal darkness, which is good. Anytime the light comes in and sheds light on the darkness the way you do when you walk into a room with people who are in full ignorance mode, you know, um, it's a good thing. That means things are coming up to be healed. It doesn't feel good to you on the outside because people think they're responding to you like you're doing something to them, but they're really responding to what's coming up to be healed for them. And if they were to become a bit more self-aware in their processing what God is doing for them basically in their life by having you step into what grace them with your presence, then they will be grateful for it. And that's kind of what you're being called to do too, to do as well. Be grateful for these last little triggers that are coming up because this is going to be what helps you sing your cosmic song. This is exactly what's going to help. So we have swimming through the galaxy and then singing your cosmic song. So there's a little darkness here. It's kind of a bit of stubbornness here. There's a bit of healing that needs to be done. Skilled swordsman. Okay. This is coming underneath the main character energy, the skilled swordswoman. So I made this card based off of that Janet Jackson music video. You want this? Um, they have on their 90s outfits and their braids or whatever. And then the skilled swordswoman is just from like a different space and time to where you had to have a skill and you had to really like focus, you know. This is telling me that this is you now, but because you're being triggered, your fear of dying, your fear of being mobbed, your fear, you could have been burned at the stake in a past life, you could have been hung on a cross in a past life. Jesus wasn't the only savior that was hung on the cross. Jesus wasn't the only teacher or preacher or divine being that was hung on a cross. Okay. You could have been tortured. You could have been ostracized by your tribe. You could have just numerous amounts of of ways that this world will abandon you, kill you, because there's no such thing as death. And this is what you're alchemizing as well, just like Jesus. It's Christ energy, to where you um kind of laugh in the face of the intimidations of this world because they're not real. If there's no such thing as death, then you can say and do and be whoever you are. But getting yourself to that space, what is that going to take for you? That's what you need to ask yourself. You know this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. If you're on my channel, baby, you're a star. You know this. If you're watching me, I'm not saying anything you don't know, but living it is a totally different thing. Embodying it is what you're learning how to do. And that process is is personal. It's not going to be in your time frame, the next person's time frame, my time frame that you get. This is an ongoing process where you become more and more and more of the main character energy here. And you let the skill, like, you're so, you're so already there that you don't even realize that if someone did try to stop you from being authentic, from being your authentic self, you would know exactly what to say, exactly what to do. And it's not because you have to only trust in yourself. It's because you're not alone. You're not alone. And I don't think that we focus on that enough. We focus a lot on the abandonment wound because a lot of us were purposefully alchemically abandoned by our mothers. It made us kind of needy. It made us feel like we needed approval and validation from this world. And what happens when we need when highly sensitive people need validation from the world? That it opens us up to attack. And what we do is try to figure out why. Why? Why am I not accepted? Why am I not loved? Why am I not seen? And why am I not heard? Because if you were, you would be just like them, and you wouldn't be able to prove to everyone else in this world that they are a God. You're here to prove them wrong so that you can prove God right and yourself too, because this is not anything you don't know. I'm about to praise God. Oof. What I'm feeling is a Kundalini rising. I'm feeling a release. I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling a pat on the back. Like some of you guys are so hard on yourselves, not because of you, but because you want to stop this from happening. You would like to be able to be the main character in a way that doesn't trigger everyone. You would like for the divine to show you how to do that first before you come out your castle and do your mission and your purpose and your art, your music, your dancing, your writing. You're like, well, let's bargain a little bit here, universe. I'll do my job, but first tell me what I need to do or say in order. Is it because you're blaming yourself? And it's not you in that way. It's not you, not like that. It's not you. It's just that I have to. I'm just this mic and how it's laying on my shirt. I don't enjoy. Let me see. I hope it's okay. It's like this. The light knows the darkness, and since the darkness is still on a spectrum of light, the light can see the darkness, but the darkness cannot see the light, right? And so the darkness experiences the light is not going to be like it's not going to make any logical sense. You're looking for people to respond to you how you would respond to them. It's like, oh, something triggered me. Let me go journal. They're not there yet. They're more like something triggered me. I'm gonna beat somebody's. How dare you? And you didn't say nothing. And then they're confused because you didn't say nothing. All you did was like appear. And you can feel the tension. And it's just kind of like what you need to do is go spend a whole lot of time in nature, juice, fast, walk, run, pray. Spend more time by yourself. I'm sorry. And that doesn't mean that your soul tribe isn't coming in and you're supposed to spend all this time by yourself. But I'm saying if you're still being triggered by people in this world, that means your mother wound is still there and you have just a little bit more healing to do. And it might be a really big part of your wound. I wanted to peer more into this wound. Okay. People are afraid of you because they don't know what you're going to do and what you're going to say next. They're afraid because you don't need them anymore. And they are afraid that what they're trying to do to you, that you're trying to do to them. That's that bullshit. That's that projection. And you're not even thinking about them, except for the fact you would like to know how to get along. You're not going to be able to. And you're going to have to learn to be okay with that on so many different levels. You're going to have to stop taking responsibility for other people's inauthentic responses. Because the truth of the matter is, people are crying out for love. People are crying out for your authenticity. They want to take it away from you because they wish it was them. And they have no clue on even how to touch on that within themselves. They're so afraid of it. They're afraid of it within themselves. They're afraid of their own light. So they're afraid of yours. And it's a tricky situation because this is kind of like, well, then why can't I just stay hidden then? Okay. Well, then you don't never have no fun and the world doesn't change. And this is what I was talking about the last lie. What light workers need to get with is the fact that we all talk about a new world, a new earth, a new dimension, and but we're so not prepared for how physical it feels to switch over into that, to alchemize where from where we're at. Like, well, it's a real thing. Like you actually are going to change. You're actually going to transmute. You're not going to be the same person. You're not going to talk the same. You're not going to look the same. You're not going to act. You're going to become unrecognizable, but also very recognizable to yourself. See, right now you're unrecognizable to yourself. You know that, right? If you're not in your main character energy, then you're like, this isn't me. You know who you are. I must have got a phone call. My bad. I got a phone call. But yeah, you know exactly who you are. You see it in your mind. You see where you're supposed to live, how you're supposed to live, how you want to live, how you want to be. So let's see what's in the middle gap there and what's stopping you. Exactly. I'm going in straight into that main character energy. That's right there. It's like up on the tip of your tongue. What may be stopping you? And I keep being attracted to this petrified Jasper here for some reason. What's it trying to say? Let's see. Let me let it come out. And that peacock ore. This peacock ore here as well. Messages here. What's in the gap? What's stopping them from going into that main character energy? What's stopping my fairy collective from going into their main character energy? The black sheep and the llama. Okay, so you're out here looking for friends, looking to get along. The black sheep is not related to the llama, which is why I put the llama in there, but they look alike. So you are amongst other human beings, but you're not like them. And y'all don't even speak the same language. You don't need the same things. You don't eat the same foods. You don't think the same thoughts. You're not on the same mission. You're not on the same path. And you're trying to mix the light and the dark in a way that's unnatural. You see, you're like the shaman that lives on top of the hill in a hut, in a temple, in the woods, that knows everything about the earth, the herbs, the fairy, the gnomes, the butterflies, the magical realm, the dark side, the demons, the angels. It's like you're connected to life and source and power and true power, and you're having to dumb yourself down if that's the case, or you're thinking about it, or you're used to doing that, or that's your old way of being. You may not even know that you're doing that. What's coming to me is like trying to put on an outworn style. You're not in that space anymore. And it's like, I don't want to be rude, I don't want to be off putting, and I don't want to not show love and not be respectful, because you understand like the golden rule. If I want respect, I got to give respect and whatever. That's noble, but you're not being disrespectful for choosing your focus by making your choices. Be yourself. It's kind of like being a main character energy is being okay with people not understanding you. It's like at my job I have now, first of all, I haven't had a job in forever. But at my job I have now, I put my crystals out on my desk, right? And I know it's a common thing now for people, I guess. But I'm the different one. I stand out. Oh, and people are gonna hear me because they don't understand me. And I'm also like bootylicious, and I'm gentle, and I'm soft, and I'm not gossipy, and I'm just like a totally new creation to them. And they don't know what angle to come at me. And when they do come at me with jealousy, envy, aggression, or rage, I stand up, I'm assertive, but I'm not aggressive. I'll be like, that has nothing to do with me. I don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. But thanks for trying to include me, though. That's not how I would like to be included. And then, if someone is acting up too tough, girl, I'll just completely ignore you. You do what you got to do with where you're at, in your space with people and your energy, and don't try to give too much, say too much, be too friendly, be too willing, be too open, be too kind, and just keep your focus on what your focus is. Because the last card is aim and focus here. I picked three cards. Okay. The next card after the black sheep and the llama, okay, is the geisha lets her hair down. Okay. So what's standing in the gap between you being the main character, alchemizing this energy, is you trying to be friends with people who aren't a natural fit for you, and also trying to please them. Like you morph into whatever other people want or need you to be. Somebody's calling me again. I wish I could just reject the phone call without it interrupting my stream. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. And it's because I closed the notification. All right. Because I know it's going to interrupt. The black sheep, here's about to interrupt. 1 second. All right, here we go. So yeah, so we have the black sheep and the llama. That's that mothering wound, not being loved, not feeling accepted, searching for a home, searching for a place that you belong, searching to be seen, searching to be heard. Even if you are strong, even if you are spiritual, this wound will still come up and see to be seen and heard sometimes because it needs some love. And then you morphing for other people instead of doing you for the sake of, because you enjoy being you. That's what the geisha lets her hair down is about. The geisha um usually puts on her garb, her drag, to please other people. But in the geisha lets her hair down, she puts it on for her. That's the alchemizing of the energy. It's not what you do, but it's how you do it. You know, anytime you talk to people, let it be a conversation you want to be. Anytime you lend your listening active ear, let it be something that you want to listen. Let yourself pick and choose your frequency and energy that you want to be on. That's what the aim and focus card is about. This is a time traveling like Black Panther, it's it's like the skilled swordswoman here. It's like he knows how to aim and focus. You when you're alchemizing energies, you have to have a target and stay focused on it. And you keep on trying to hit that target until you do. You don't get discouraged because it's not personal. You don't get mad at yourself and beat yourself up because it's not personal. You train some more. And this is what's happening right now with your energies. You're being called back and forth, time to titrate back and forth between your dark and light very rapidly, actually. You could be, it could seem kind of like bipolar. What is that? Hypo bipolar or something? Hypomanic? I don't know. Um, to where you're just it's like one day you're doing good, the next day you're doing great, the next day you're doing bad, and it's because you're about to lock in into your main character energy. You'll be like, oh, I get it now. You're just waiting for that one. You're waiting that one last lesson. You like, you know what? No more. No one's going to take me out of my space. No one's going to waste my time. And oh, my bad. That was always my fault for allowing it. That never had anything to do with y'all. That was always my choice. Actually, let me find that be authentic card again. Because when those trolls come to your door with their um flames, throw some water on them. Open the door, throw a bucket of water, bop them upside the head, and close your door and have a laugh. Turn on some music and dance. Like there's imagine. Imagine you being afraid in your own big castle, right? And people have you trembling, shaking in your knees because you're so afraid of being triggered. That you are trying to fit in with people who you don't even want to talk to, that aren't like you, that aren't where you're at, who haven't done the work you've done, okay? Who don't deserve, everyone deserves the light. But let's face it here, we're in a matrix that we've all created together collectively that says that there are different levels of growth and spirituality. We made this shit up. That's why you can't take it seriously for real or take it personal. So we made this system up to where there are people that are higher spiritual, lower spiritual, poor and rich, and because we wanted to experience contrast, or God wanted to experience contrast, right? And so we make our own triggers up, and then we get attached to them. We get attached to the stories, and we keep incarnating over and over again, trying to fix it when it's nothing that's broken for real. This is a game. You're trying to win the game. And really, how you win the game is by dancing, playing, singing, making a joke out of it. And that's why people are mad at you. Because the things that they're bound to, they think they're bound to, like a job, money, a family, houses, cars, like the illusions of materialism and the idols that we make out of them. You're not. Do you realize that? How free you are already? Because you don't take any of this shit seriously? And that pisses people off. It makes them feel like you're a witch or a warlock or something. It's like, how dare you? And so then they want to prove to you that you know you're just like us because you need this money. So we're going to try to abandon you. I was watching. We're going to try to. We're going to get jealous, make up a story, and try to get rid of you or something, right? I was watching these biblical stories. First I watched Jesus story, and then I watched Esther, and now I'm in the middle. I'm watching Ruth now because I wanted to watch the girls, you know, the girls' Bible stories or whatever. And it's all the same story over and over again. You have someone that's highly spiritual and favored, anointed by God because they make a decision to be mature and to see through the veil, and they're able to speak to people with authenticity, and people are impressed by that, right? People are impressed when you stand in your power because it's like so many other people are thrown by, it's like, you want a car? Yeah, I want a car. Then hop on one leg and talk like a rabbit or something. I don't know. Some stupid shit. And then they don't respect you, and then you end up not getting, they go, ha ha ha, we were never gonna give you a car, right? And so then you walk in a room, it's like, you want a car? No, not really. Okay. Do you want a house? No, I'm good. Hey, you want money? I could use more, but I'm straight with what I got. It's like, so what does this person want? And then it's like panic, right? It's like, okay, what can we use? Then they dig and it's like the control, the manipulation, the games, and then you're like, you don't even really need that. You're trying to get away from that. Then they're offended by that. It's like, how dare you want to get away from me when I'm the most powerful person in the like, this is kind of like a headache, isn't it? But you volunteered to be here to help out with this stupid shit. It's stupid to me anyway. I'm like, this is so stupid. God, I could totally be focused on something else. And you could. You just have to learn to laugh at it. Like I said, when they bring that BS to you, say something funny, do something funny, laugh, and walk away. Like, don't get involved, don't cry. Even if you are triggered, it's not that bad because it's not as bad as it used to be when you first started healing. You don't have to get totally enthralled. And I'm saying that you're not saying that you are, but I always try to speak to the people that may be doing the worst, you know? And so the people that are doing great may be turned off by some of these readings, and I'm sorry. But if you don't really need my help, then I'm not really here for you, you know? All right, so um, does anybody have any questions so far? In spirit, is there anything else that you want me to say or go? Because I think I basically summed up what is being alchemized here. You being afraid that you're not going to fit in into the world, and you not knowing how to handle, you thinking you don't know how to handle it when you're triggered by people in the world, and you not really seeing how powerful, how beautiful, how righteous, how much work you've done, how far you've come because you're so intelligent, you know? I heard somebody say, not maybe the other day, I was listening to someone talk about intelligence, and I also, one of the movies, the Bible movies I was watching, it also says something like, the people that want nothing in this world will gain everything, and the people that want it all will have nothing. It's like the people that that are very really truly intelligent and are always work and see that their inner alchemization, like their internal work is never done, are the most healed, people. And the people that are in denial and who think that they're perfect have the most healing to do. But at the same time, I feel like that's part of this wound too, is that people try to trigger you because you're walking around healed, and that's a new being. That's a new creation in this world, a healed person. You're walking around healed, right? You're walking around in your power. You are in your Christ energy, whether you know it, believe it, or not. Whether you think you're there or not, you're there, honey. You're absolutely there. You're Christed, you're crowned, you're in your glory, you're in your power. You are to be loved, respected, highly favored, you're anointed, all of that, all of the things. And nothing will be denied you that you asked for. And people are like, who the do you think you are? This to you didn't say you were, you're not walking around, I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed. It's you're not doing that. But still people feel your confidence and your power, and they are like that's not fair. Instead of asking you, it's like you know what, I did have somebody ask me that. This one girl, when I was in training or whatever, she was sitting next to me, and she saw me try to help one of the other girls in our row with something that our instructor had told us, and she was like, well, we were told something different. And I just totally just was like, "Eh." And but she was like, I felt your energy. You just completely just like accepted in a calm, peaceful state. It's like you have no drama in you. And she's like, I love that energy. That's where I'm trying to get to. And I really appreciated that sister for allowing herself to sense that, say that, and not try to fight me about it. It's like and because is working on herself, um, she got fired or something. I don't know what happened, but because she is working on herself, she was able to appreciate. You see what I'm saying? Like people who aren't working on themselves, and even if you're watching me now and you know you're supposed to be working on yourself and you feel convicted, but you're not ready to really be committed the way spirit is calling you to be committed, you ain't going to want to hear a thing I have to say about this right now. The energy is convicting. When you are a highly spiritual being and you're in your power, you walking into a room is convicting. It's admonishing. It's like a teacher walking into the room. It's like somebody's grandma walking in the room. It's like the Bible being opened up in the room. You make people act right and they don't want to. They're not ready to. They're like, I don't want to hear this. It's like energy speaks louder than words, right? So if your energy is purified and you're always cleansing, you may look at yourself like you have so far to go, but you have to think. This is kind of like if you sweep and clean your kitchen every day. It's not going to be a spot in there for real. Yeah, you can go into the corners and find some things, but you have to search for it. When most people, their debris is hanging out their pockets, out their mouth, it's coming out their ears. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm sensing is that as a collective, as a highly sensitive, I'm not just talking about my fairy babies, my fairy collective. I'm talking about as a highly sensitive person, collective in general, we give ourselves no grace, no mercy, and no compassion. And but thank God, God does. God gives us lots of grace by way of our manifestations not coming instantly. You have some time to change your mind, to change your focus, to change timelines, to change your opinions about yourself, to go spend time in nature, to relax. I was just watching the Ruth Bible story, and there was just a lot of distress at the beginning of that movie. Make sure this is still green. Um, what I noticed is that stress kills, and it's not that stress kills; is your focus will transition you up out of here when um you don't spend some time relaxing, you know, and you're not trusting in God. Relaxation is a symbol that you're trusting in God. And the spirit realm reads that as such. When God, the creator, gets the message that you are in trust, no matter how the relaxation comes, sometimes you're all of a sudden get sick, and then everything that you've been praying about will come to you. You know what I'm saying? That's happened to me before. You tell me I sit myself down somewhere, or I'm forced to sit down somewhere. Like I start getting phone calls, my cash app starts going off. You be like, I can't move now, you know? But the spirit realm reads rest and relaxation like an open space to let in, to like pour down your blessing. Just some alchemical tea. All right. What angels want to come out? And then I'm going to let you good people be. Thank you guys for joining me. I always enjoy our conversations. I really do. Again, don't forget you can always join me on Patreon so that we can meditate for 15 days, for 15 minutes every 15th of the month. I'm doing very well. Thank you guys for all your thoughts and prayers. All right, angels, what are some last messages for the collective here? Even if I didn't put my full description in the description box, I did put my site address in case people would like sessions with me, because sometimes I see people ask me that in the comments. What angel is this? Hakamaya, angel 16, the raising God, loyalty, respect, and dignity. Loyalty, delivery from those who seek to oppress and brings victory. So this is about you holding yourself up in your divine sovereignty. Okay. Damabaya, angel 65, the God, the source of wisdom, fountain of wisdom, gives success in all virtues. So you're honestly being asked to rise above all your haters or any ignorance, you know. And then the last angel, angel Mamaya, angel 72, God, the end of the universe, endings and rebirth, influences health and longevity. So they're saying that for this last lesson that you're in right now, for this ending cycle that you're in right now, the end of a lesson, keep your frequency high. Keep your frequency high, and you will end up with longevity and health and wealth and power and all of these things in your past universe and your past dimension will come to a close. Peace to you. Bye for now, and I holla.